Everyone. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. I am really excited about talking to you about what programs I have. I know you've seen it on the Facebook group and might have some questions. And, a lot of people are asking me about the credit cards, if there's going to be more information about finances besides just credit cards. And yes, there will be. So I'm going to go over the program so you can get an idea of what it is. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. There we go. All right, and you should be able to see one big picture, correct?
Yeah, I can see it on my end.
Excellent, thank you. You just always want to make sure you get that right word in order to say that correctly, You want to make sure that everybody can see everything. So give me another second. I'm going to move all the faces around. So good. Okay. Well, you are in the right place tonight. Oops, got one more thing I gotta take care of. Move this guy out of here. Excellent. You are in the right place tonight if you have tried so many different methods to pay off your debts and it didn't work. And as you know, this workshop is not about budgeting. And I know that seems kind of strange to say, okay, well, you're a financial coach, Nancy. Why are you not talking about budgeting? And I hope that you'll understand when we go through the process of what the program is about, it'll make it a little bit more sense as far as, thank you, as far as making sure you understand how it's going to work. So it's not necessarily, like I said, it's not about budgeting right now. It's about paying off your bills. So this is, but it's a lot of people have credit card bills. So that's why it is talks about credit card. But imagine what life would be like if you didn't have nagging credit card interest fees every single month, which added to your debt. And you're already trying to get out of debt as it is. And all of a sudden you get that bill and you're like, oh my gosh, I got to pay, X amount of extra dollars just because of my finance charges. And what about that big bill that always comes out of the bank at the wrong time of your paycheck? You're like, how am I going to pay for this? And then you're like, well, okay, well, I have to put everything else on the credit card because I wanted to use cash out of that, but I had to put it on the credit card. So regardless of why you're here, I can help you out. To help you go where you need to go. I'm going to be going over steps today that are extremely important to help you get out of debt. Let's face it. We all have that dream of not having credit card debt and having plenty of money in the bank. So I'm going to share with you why these are so important. Make sure I got to click one more thing, sorry, to make sure that this all works out. And we got the next. Not wanting to go. So I apologize here. Gotta love technology. I'm trying something different today. I've got two screens, so it is I can see what I got going on. So I apologize here. I'm getting there. There we go. Okay. Well, my name is Nancy Ward, and I am a financial coach. I am the founder of the Facebook group Weekly Debt Plan. A lot of you are in that group, so thank you for being part of that. I have been a financial coach since 2021. I've always had a desire to do number crunching, love budgeting. I mean, back when I was a little kid, I was teaching math in my basement to invisible kids in class. So I've always had a love of numbers, love of statistics. I even put on my college application that my degree was going to be mathematical sciences. Now, I'm really not too sure what I would have done for a job, but I really loved math. I loved physics, and I was this close on having a minor in accounting, in finance. But I ended up just having just the marketing degree. But that's okay. I still got to learn a lot of things. I love the statistics class that I took and so forth. So, when it comes to numbers, it's just something that comes naturally to me. But design, no way. I'm not a creator. I'm not a designer. So, everybody's got their talents, and number crunching is mine. Back in 2017, I developed the weekly debt plan system because I was at a point, I'm a single mom. Trying to manage all of my money and all of the expenses that are coming in. And then all of a sudden these bills start coming in and it's again the wrong time of the month or the wrong time of my paycheck. But even still, I had to figure out the best way. So I would go to my vendors and say, hey, can I pay this, you know, every month instead of every year? And they're like, oh yeah, we can put you on a payment plan. And then it got me thinking, I'm like, well, I can send a payment every single week. And once I started doing that, those numbers were so much easier to devour in order to pay those bills and help myself get out of debt. But again, a little bit about me is I am a single mom of two teenagers, so you know that that's not cheap. One of them's going to be graduating next year. I'm still kind of in shock about that, but she is a junior. But it's life is good. I mean, I've got a smile in my face, and I've persevered. So I wanted to teach you a few different things that I learned in my lessons. Okay, maybe having these two screens is not going to work for me. Oh my gosh. All right. I'm embarrassed now. I just closed the whole thing.
It's okay, just bring it back.
Yeah. La la la. Love technology, hate technology. Love technology, hate technology. Okay. And all right. I am just do that. Okay.
This is actually good, so I can walk into the other room and grab my coffee and
Like I said, I was trying something new by having two screens, and that's just messing me up. So we're just going to do it the old fashioned way and go from there. Oh, life kicks you in the pants sometimes. You just got to deal with it. Okay. You can see my agenda. So today we are going to work towards your financial goals. We are going to design a debt plan and we're going to implement the plan and see the results. But actually, we're not going to do that today because that is part of my class. So everyone was curious on what's going to be involved with the class and how does this all going to work. But as you are going through my course, this is what you get. You're going to learn how to do all of these different things. And I'm going to show you a few different slides here of what we're going to be working on. So let me, of course. All right, the first thing is financial goals. So some of you might have goals of a tropical vacation. I think anybody would love to be in that top picture right about now, especially those of us who are in cold weather. That is definitely something that you can look forward to as people like to go ahead and go on vacations. You might be saving for a house. You might be saving for a car. You might be saving for a college education. Any of those different things are going to be what you're looking for as far as your finances. Does anybody have any financial goals that they would like to let me know about?
I have a lot of credit card debt and line of credit I have to pay off. I
Oh
have to
yes.
pay it off.
Oh
Um,
yes.
we pretty much got declined to go for a mortgage because of the debt ratio.
Oh yeah. And that's one of the things
Mhm.
that you'll learn in my class too is the debt ratio. If you're not familiar with it, we'll actually go over that more in detail. It's basically the credit ratio is how much debt do you have versus how much are the creditors allowing you to. So if you've maxed out or not maxed out is basically what that is. But I show you how to use those numbers. Anybody else have any financial goals? Okay, no problem. So one of the first things that we're going to be working on when we're in this class is working on your financial goals. It's taking that snapshot. What is your current financial situation? So Stacy, you were saying you were trying to go for a mortgage. So of course your current mortgage would be zero, but you would like to go for that. But looking at these numbers in order to fix that, in order to get that loan, these are some of the numbers that you need to start looking at. How much money do you have in each of these little categories? So those of you who said, "Hey, my goal is to be doing retirement. I would like to save some more for retirement." That is definitely something you can have on there for having that. But again, we're going to go on an adventure together. We're all gonna, be driving our cars, driving down the highway, but you don't know where you're going. And I'm gonna be your little GPS that's gonna tell you everything that you need to know and how to get to all those numbers and so forth. And you need to know where you're starting off before you can get there. So this is great for you to do that. So another thing is the credit tracker, the credit score tracker. And as you mentioned, you might not have a good enough credit score in order to put that mortgage out, or if you've been declined on credit cards, or going to the big box stores in order to get a loan, you might have gotten denied, and it might be all due to your credit score. So you're going to learn how to track your credit score. You're going to increase your credit score. Why is a credit score so important? That's the bank's financial way to know, are you responsible enough to pay back the money on time and every month? So those are some definite things to look forward to. And in mine, I like having it where I can say, oh, I went to the big box store and I bought a refrigerator, and all of a sudden my credit score went down. But it happens because I knew it went down. I knew why it was going down, and I was okay with it. So, during that class, you're going to keep um, after the class, I should say, you're going to be keeping up with this credit score. So every month you're going to be looking at it and going, oh, okay, things are getting better and so forth. And if you haven't had a credit report in a while, that's something to think about too. That will help you with all of your finances. Just take a look and see what your financial snapshot is per what the creditors think. Oh, you had a question there about being hesitant on having your credit score pulled. Now, there's two ways to do it that the vendors do it. It is with a hard pull or a soft pull. So, uh, like if you go and open up a new account, they're going to do a hard pull, and then they're going to go and see how creditworthy you are. But somebody like Verizon might every once or twice, once every other year, they might go ahead and do a soft pull just to check and see if everything's still okay, that you're still at a good financial spot. I know sometimes it is troubling that you're like, gosh, I'm really just trying, but that is a possibility. And I'm also going to teach you some tips and tricks on how to increase your credit score just by doing some small things. So that'll be something else. With your credit cards and loans, having your statements. Some of us have, I wrote that article the other day on our Facebook group, and some people just bury their head in the sand and they don't want to look at the statement because they know how much they owe. They don't want to admit it to it. And it's okay. And a lot of us do go through it. But if you're taking the time and the action in order to get this done, we're going to be pulling those out. We're going to be printing them off if you need to. We're going to be accessing it. I'm going to show you all the things that you need to know and all that important information on your credit card statements or your loan documents and so forth in order to have that with all of your credentials. So you're going to use that information, you're going to use it on some of the spreadsheets, and then you're going to be able to track on a month to month basis how you're doing as far as, getting closer to that payoff. And you're going to see that in your statements. So that's an interesting thing too. Even just keeping organized, whether it's electronic files, paper files, and so forth. We're gonna go over that as well because that is an important thing to make sure that you have together. Um, so one of the other sheets that you'll be working on is you'll have your important data. So there's what all your credit cards. We're going to look through all your credit cards. Not okay. Let me rephrase that. If you'd like me to personally review them, you can. But when I say we are going to, it means I'm going to teach you how to do it. And if you want to keep all your numbers confidential, by all means, that is not a problem. But I'm going to show you how to grab that information and again, pick out the best ones that you're going to start paying down and so forth. Because a lot of your cards might be getting that interest fees every single month. So we want to make sure that we balance that versus the APR, the annual percentage rate, and things like that. So, and that's part of the nice thing about part of the class is that if you have a question, you can always just shoot me a message and say, "Hey, I'm deciding between these two things." If you don't want to disclose any, more of your information, I'll be there to at least give you some guidance and help you to help you in the best situation for getting that paid out. So designing is that payoff plan. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the first three steps of what we're talking about tonight. We've already talked about two: getting organized, getting your financial information together in order to make your best decisions. So, Stacy, you might have a different situation than other people that are on the call. You're talking about the mortgage. Other people might be saying, "Hey, you know what? I'm trying to pay off some medical bills or any other kind of bills that they have, or just pay down their credit cards." So everybody's plan is going to be a little bit different, but the concept's going to be the same as far as how you can work with your money and use it to your best advantage. You'll be able to implement changes that you'll be able to do with your bank and your creditors. So again, paying that on a weekly basis or a monthly basis or putting it into a savings account. Those are some different tips and tricks that we're going to show you how to do in the class. So then you can, again, have more cash flow in your bank account. Now, if you have somebody in your house that likes to take out $500 in cash every week, that's a whole nother story that, we'll have to have, and you'll have to have the discussion with that person. But in general, we'll be able to go ahead and work with your bank in order to get those bills paid through. You'll be able to evaluate on a monthly basis how your money is working for you. And that's really important because, again, you want to see progress. Click the chat and then it went away. There we go. You'll have access to all the worksheets. So everything you've seen so far, you're going to get that and more. And that's the best part, is that it's so good to see it on paper, and you actually end up with like a notebook like this with some tabs and so forth. This will be part of the assignment in the beginning, is to get it all organized. And because it's just good to be tactile and to look at it, and you're going to be able to color in when you paid that bill, and you're going to see your progress, and that is actually going to really help you to be motivated. But also too, if you wanted to sit down with your spouse, or there's somebody else in your home that you work with the finances with, is to say, "Hey, let's talk about this." Pull out the book, you show a few things, you don't confuse the other person because you know what's going on. And you guys can work together and say, "This is awesome. This is what we're going to do. This is how we're going to save our money. I'm so glad that we're paying off the bills." So it helps your communication with your financial partner if you have one. You'll have a private Facebook group for support, which includes me. You can ask questions. You can ask general questions, specific questions, things like that. I'll have some additional training on there. So again, you'll be able to see and work through this plan and make it work for you. And as you know, that the cost of the mini course is only $49. It is my introductory rate. I'm really excited to roll this out. It is valued at $197, maybe even more based on the information that you get. But as you know, it's only $47. So it's really a nice kickstart to help you get your finances together and start working on your financial goals. So the other thing that we'll be talking about in the class, so step 3, is working with your bank accounts. Again, looking at your paydays, looking at your due dates, because your paydays come every 2 weeks, most people's, but your due dates are the 1st and the 5th of the month, but that's not when you get paid. So we're going to get rid of that irritation in your life where you don't have enough money until your next paycheck. So again, those are going to be some of the tips and tricks and techniques that we're going to be using in this class in order to make it easier. And you can look at your bank account and say, "I always want to have $1,000 in my bank account." I mean, what a great feeling would that be if you knew that every single day you would check online, you'd look at your account, you'd have $1,000 or $2,000 or $500, whatever that threshold is. But we're going to help you get to that point while you're also still paying off your bills. So that's an awesome thing. So again, this is another example of one of the worksheets we'll be using that you're going to list down everything that you withdraw, your mortgage payment, your rent payment, your water, your electricity, any of those things, because there are some bills that are out there that, here in my area, if I paid my electric bill with a credit card, they would charge me an extra 4, 5, 6%. And then you're just adding more into the credit card. So sometimes you have to take those bills out of your checking account. So we'll go over that too. So again, I just wanted to go over that. This is just the first 3 steps in this, and you're thinking that's great. This is what I want, but I want to let you know that there's also the next step. So as we get through the steps 1 through 3, there will be another class that you'll be able to take with group coaching that's going to go over a lot of other different things. So as we are working with it, you've got a system, you've got those bills starting to pay off, it's starting to go through the process. It's like, okay, Nancy, I'm feeling comfortable. I'm putting enough money into my credit cards and my mortgage and my bills and my loans. Okay, how do we do a balance transfer if I need to? What's the best method to do it? How do I make sure my bills get paid every single month? Can you show me how to automate them and why is the importance of it? And then I also talking about money mindset. I'm not going to be that person who tells you don't have any Starbucks. I mean, my gosh, that is the least of that is the least of my things that I should be telling you what to do, because that might be your only self-care for the day. But I'm gonna help you realize those things that you can cut down on. So that's the best part too. But that, like I said, that group coaching will be coming up in February or March as we get through this. And I want to make sure that you're comfortable with where you are at that point of working with your numbers and where your finances are. So I just wanted to open it up for questions. If anybody has any questions about the course or any of the other services that I could provide. Does anybody have any questions at this point?
How many sessions is this again, Nancy?
It is 3 live video sessions, so we'll go over that. But when you're in this private Facebook book group, you'll actually have like step 1 videos. Okay, this is how this worksheet. This is how you're going to be doing this worksheet, and this is how you fill in the numbers. And I'll actually have examples of that. So when you open up the Excel or you want to change it over to Google Sheets, you can. And with that, you'll have the examples of what kind of information to do, but the videos are going to show you how to fill out the information and then how to analyze the information that you put down.
These are the classes.
What's that?
The classes.
Yes, like I said, what we would have live classes once a week. They would be on Monday nights, right around this time. But again, you would have all of the other resources of videos and worksheets and so forth in the Facebook group.
Okay.
My dog's barking in the background. Just bear with me for a second.
And that's okay.
And it really sounds like this is a program that once you learn it, it continues.
Yes, yes.
You can
and that
continue to
was
use it. It's not a once and done.
right. So once you get that set up and so forth, another one of those modules is monthly and yearly reviews. So, as you look at this, as we go for a few months, you'll go, okay, now I understand it. I've been applying my payments to this one bill, and looking at what you're spending on a monthly basis going out the door, not on your credit card, but out the door, which includes your bank withdrawals and your credit cards. And again, you're going to see those credit cards go down and go from there. And then a yearly as well. I'll give you some sheets on that. But it definitely is something that you can duplicate every single week or every single month and keep it going. And what I really like about this is that once you get everything set up, you can really spend about 5 minutes a day. 5 minutes a day or half an hour a week, because we're going to go over the different apps and things that are available that are out there that you can look at your numbers and so forth besides the worksheets. So that's kind of graduates away from the worksheets, because then you can look at it and look at your different apps and say, hey, that's wonderful. Now I'm spending $300 on groceries or $500 on gas and so forth. So again, those are going to be some different mindset and money tracking that you'll be able to do in the future. So, but definitely, as I mentioned in the beginning, if you're looking to, get out of debt, or you want to reduce your credit card payments, you want to increase your credit score, any of those are going to help to move you forward. And it's what you'll be doing is going to affect your credit score in a positive way, because you're getting money out to those creditors, you're getting past those monthly payment or late payments if you have them, and just really focusing on your finances. And where we were a year ago, if you look at your credit card statement, your percentage rate might be 4, 5, 6% less than what it is today, and you've done nothing to change it. So that's the frustrating part, is that, our federal government keeps on raising our interest rates, but we can't do anything about it except for pay more money. So I definitely understand how this is something that, if you're really looking to make a change and have a system that works, like I said, this isn't budgeting, but it's trying to figure out the best way to pay down your credit cards, so then you can have some breathing room, either with your credit cards or with your bank account.
Oh, yeah. Cooking supper here. I think there's comfort in knowing, like, I know budgets don't work for me. They don't. But I think there's comfort in knowing that I can still pay off debt and still have money.
Yeah.
To, I don't know, go get my nails done or go grab a coffee with a friend. Like, I can still have a life, and I don't have to be stuck at home because
Right.
I'm debt poor.
Right. And that's the thing, is that you're going to make those choices based on that. I mean, you can budget for your groceries, but you can't budget for your interest fees.
Right.
But you're right. I mean, there is the having a little savings, even taking $5 out a week, or $10 out a week, and putting it into a savings account, and then that's going to be your nail money. I mean, you add it all together. If that's one of those withdrawals that you make out every single week or every single month, then you've got that money available for you. So.
I'm going to unmute it now because Doug hasn't stopped barking.
Well, again, I wanted to thank you for coming in this evening. It will be on a replay if you'd like to get some information, but now you know a little bit more about what's involved with that program. So if you're looking to change your finances and work on paying down some more of your debts, whether it's your loans or mortgage or any of those types of bills that you have, let me know. You can go ahead and click on the link, and we're going to start next week as far as the Facebook group is concerned, along with having everything ready to go. You'll have your list of everything that you need to get you started. Like I said, with the little book here, I have it set up in different tabs so you can keep everything organized. And again, I appreciate your time tonight. And if you have any questions, just reach out to me at the Facebook group. So I hope everybody enjoys their evening, and we'll talk soon. Bye-bye.